Hello, you. Today we will uncover the dark secrets of Signore Azzo Visconti, the leader of Milano. We will also make our first starting moves playing as the Signora of Milan. The first part will be to set everything up. If you want to skip and get to the gameplay, I have some timestamps down below. In this game you can play any nation that there exists on the world, and the place in the year 1337 on 1st of April. That's a quite funny joke, so April Fools in lead time. Interesting choice from developers. Yeah, you can play as big nations like Great Yuan or the Golden Horde, but you can also play like super small, tiny, mini countries. Let's put this to political map view. Like, let's say this one, the country of Toggenburg, or this one, Canton of St. Gallen. And those are super small countries, like this one is super poor, not really much man. Or you can pay bigger countries like France with a lot of income, a lot of man. Just out of curiosity. They are so poor. You could also maybe play something over here, like the Inca, or even some tribe nation over here, somewhere in America, that is native to this country. Even they are richer than St. Gallen over there. You should be ashamed, Mr. Leopold, for being so poor. Anyway, let's not get distracted. What we will play is Milan, or Milano. Why, you ask? It's a mid-sized country. We have some money, we have some army size we can work with, and we have just the coolest flag with a dragon either eating a man or instead of breathing fire, it's breathing a man. I like this image more. Yeah, Milan. Milan is a republic. Most of the countries are actually not republics, they are monarchies. So, the story of Milan, you can read the description, you can pause the game if you want to read it for yourself. I just summarize it. Basically, there is much stab happening here in the Italian countries. Everyone is betraying each other, and we as Milanese think that we are still in an advantage position and have a prosperous time ahead of us. From the settings, we will leave everything as normal. I've played the game a little bit, but I'm not that familiar with everything, so I don't want to crank up any difficulty, at least not for this playthrough. The goal is more to learn this game a little bit deeper together, and I will explain my decision making, and I'll also try to explain a couple of things of the game that I've understand so far. But what we definitely will do is play in Ironman mode. This prevents us from save scumming, basically, so we cannot load and save if we did a blunder. If we make a bad decision and we do a blunder, then we just have to live with the consequences. And we are here in the game. We as Milano, or how it's called, Signora of Milan, or Milano, have already quite a couple provinces or locations. And we are also quite well developed. So our main capital is Milano, which is already a city. We have other towns around. Those are the square thingies here. A couple towns around. And we also have another city here in Cremona. Sorry if you're coming from any of this region and I'm mispronouncing anything of it. I'm already apologize. Well, you can have basically three different types of urbanization. The highest ones are cities. You can see this by this 5 corner thingy. Then you have cities, those are the square thingies, and these round ones are just rural locations. Anyway, we have to face a couple issues with our glorious country, Milano. First of all, let's go to our government overview. There are different estates ruling our country. Our estate, or what we are controlling, is the Republic in this case. And we have our estate power, which is currently just 19%, and this is below 25%, therefore it causes us a lot of debuffs. That is something we want to address and change as soon as possible. The most powerful estate there are the patricians. They have 34% power. We have some clergy, some religious dudes, some burghers, which are traders and working in guilds and everything. And we have the common people, which are the most here, and they have the lowest amount of power, just like in every country on the world since, I guess, ever. Like I said, we are a republic, but unfortunately we are just a country rank. So we are the lowest of country ranks that there is, and we are on the same rank, like for example our shitty St. Gallen dude, which is also, I guess, which is also just a country rank. So we are on the same rank as them. That is something we want to address sooner or later. We have also different issues. So one is that we are losing money at the moment. And in this economy tab, we can see why this is. We are spending a lot of stuff and we have low income. Why we have so low income? The main reason is that apparently in the past we have conquered quite a few lands. So everything green here is considered a core province. This is where we have a lot of control over those provinces. Everything red here are conquered provinces. And the consequences, so if we go to our control map mode, that we have just very few control over our country. We have like no control on the edges and just a little tiny bit around our country. And that is something we need to fix first. We can fix this by going over to our government type and going to the cabinet. We have currently no cabinet members, and we can just hire some. In this list, I'm looking mainly for two things. One is that they have a high military ability and that they are part of our crown. So with these symbols here, you can see to which estate this person belongs. We have this crown symbol, so those are people from our own family, and here are people from the patrician estate. By assigning some cabinet member, we give them more power, and that is something we don't want to have for the noble estates. We want to have the power for ourselves, so that in the estates overview our republic power slowly goes up. Okay, then let's assign some cabinet members. We have like Luigi Visconti, which is already 57, which is quite old, but he has a lot of military power, and that is something that we need. And we can also check this dude is our ruler's distant cousin, and he will be perfect for our job. So let's get him. We will also assign a second member for our cabinet, and this time we take someone that is a little bit more balanced. And we have here our successor, Luca Visconti. He is 45 and he is decent, and yeah, he is our heir to Milan. Our heir is, wait a second, our heir is 45. Let's just get his student for now. Why is our heir 45? Our ruler here, Signore Azzo, is 34. And apparently our successor is our uncle, which is older. So you don't have kids? You have a wife, what's wrong with you? Oh. What? Dude. Anyway, back to our cabinet members. We can now assign them some action. And this guy is the best in military part. And we want to integrate a province. Now the question is, which province do we want to integrate? And let's go to our integration map mode. And we could integrate this province or one of those provinces. To decide which one we want to integrate first, let's maybe check some raw materials, what we can have here. Over here we have some lead, which is good, some iron, a lot of iron. Here, down here we have clay and more wheat. We already have quite some few wheat here. Over here we have wine, which is good, wool. marble and... Oh my god, we have gold in our provinces, yes. Is this really ours? Wow. Yes, we really have a gold province over here, that is quite nice. Let me assume. Nope, we don't have any control there yet. That is something we need to address ASAP. We want to have this gold province, so your job is integrating this province of Novara. Have fun with it. How long does it take you to do it? Until 1st of October 1372. That's a long time ahead. Okay, that will take some time until we have the gold province. Have fun doing it. And for you, same task. We also want to integrate some provinces. Let's integrate the one that is adjacent to our capital, so we can have more control over there, and integrate this province. Which is basically just the one over here, which we are integrating. Now we can see those provinces are being integrated, and I hope that this one goes quicker. Yes, this just takes us a little bit more than 2 years, which is good. But we are not finished in this government tab. We still have a couple things that we need to address. Our estates can have different privileges, and our republic can have also something that is called reforms. We can have in total 3 reforms. Why this is the case? Because our first reform here is giving us more reforms, so we are starting with 3, typically you start with 2. It is also giving us other bonuses, which is quite nice. We want to fill those reforms as well, so we can add reforms right now. And there is at the beginning not that much to choose from, later you get more. For now we can just choose between those 4 and we can pick 2 of them. Since we are having some issues with our food, so we are buying food over here and it is costing us 1.05 ducats, I guess we will choose the agricultural cultivation, which is giving us bonuses to food production. And from the rest of the reforms that we could possibly choose right now, we take also the diplomatic traditions, because this is giving us a little bit more diplomatic capacity, some reputation, and some progress to conciliatory. What is this, you may ask? This is one of the values of our states. It's becoming more and more complicated. Values we can see over here. There are a lot of different values where we can push our country to. What I would like to focus at the beginning is that we want to be more centralized. This is reducing the proximity cost and giving us crown power, while currently we are very much decentralized, which is good for subjects and making the states more happy and everything. But we don't care about this, we want the crown power. And speaking of this crown power, the patricians have something that is pushing against it. So one thing is that they are already pushing for decentralization with this privilege. We could revoke it, but it costs us 158 stability. We don't have that much stability and it's almost impossible to remove this. Another thing that we want to remove is the fortification license, which is giving them plus 10 decentralization. That is also something we need to get rid of. Or the other one that they have is okay, they can have it, giving us tax efficiency, which is good. The clergy have also some for max literacy, which is okay. They have also pop conversion speed, which is okay, I guess. And they are giving us efficiency for our cabinet, which is also good. We will keep this for now, it's nothing we need to change. For our brokers, they have something, which is okay. This one is something that we need to address at some point. This is reducing our trade capacity and giving them more trade capacity. We want to get rid of this at some point, not today. They have also building rights, which is reducing building costs, which is good. They have brokers land rights, which is reducing our maximum RGO size, which is bad. And something that is giving us trade capacity and pushing us towards capital economy, which is quite good. The commoners, yeah, we need to revoke this one. This one is a good one for them to have. And this one is also something we want to get rid of because of this negative modifier here. I don't really like this. Actually, I don't like the bookers to have this privilege. Giving us this debuff on trade capacity is quite bad. I want to remove it directly. We don't really have the stability yet. We had 29 stability, but we can go to negative. It will cost us this 38 stability and it will diminish the state satisfaction for the bookers by 40%, which is bad, but we'll do it anyway. Now the bookers don't really like us. They're already starting a rebellion against us. But we will give them some other privileges which make them maybe a little bit more happy. One is the urban development. Granting this just cost us 5 Republican tradition. Let's do this. This makes them now a little bit more happy, but the rest a little bit more unhappy. The difference is that these privileges are enacted instantly, while the government reforms that we have chosen here take some time to be implemented. This one will be done in December 1338, so a little bit more than a year, and this one as well. So you don't get the bonuses instantly, you need to wait until they are enacted basically. The last thing in our government tab that we need to address is laws. We have one law that is not currently set. And this is here in the socio-economic laws. We have the precious metal distribution, how we want to distribute metal. The thing is, we have currently a gold mine right now, but it's not really producing us any gold because we don't have there any control yet. So I would like to go with a middle ground option, so this one is definitely not good. This one could be good, giving us the bonuses, but for now I think I go with the trade efficiency 1% and choose the regular export. We can choose this later if we want. The next thing we want to address is our economical situation. For now we have 2 forts here, and I don't think we will need them anytime soon, so we just reduce the maintenance. This is already giving us some money. Stability wise, we are currently not spending that much, and we are already negative due to our privileges that we gave. That is something we want to crank up. Giving it a little bit at least. Then on the plus side we can also do minting here. You want to basically keep this always at 0. This is perfect, this is giving us some more income. For taxation of the different estates, I think we can just keep everything automated. This will try to keep them at 50%. This should also reduce our taxes currently a little bit, because our estates are for now not so much happy. The only one that are happy are our clergy, but they don't pay taxes at all. And that is because we are Catholic. How we can also make a little bit more money is by trading. Here in the Genoa market we can see our greatest surplus and our greatest needs, and we can try to set up certain trades for that. We can also sort this here, then you have an overview of your surplus and to your needs, and we can check if we can import something or do something with our RGOs or buildings to produce here something. For now let's check if we can make any profit. Doesn't look so. Can we make any profit with something? With books? Maybe. What about copper? Oh, there is some copper trade that we can do here in the Nuremberg market. They don't really have that much, so let's not waste too much of our trade capacity. Get some from Nuremberg. Let's see if this trade is working. Okay, I have set up some trades. Let's see if we can make profit out of this. This will take us a month to figure this out until the trade route is established. I try to get for some money things and also something that our pops need, like food and other stuff. Let's talk about the next thing, and this is our society. We have different things like culture, Most of our people are from the Lombard culture. And we can also see this culture in the culture map mode, that most people here are Lombard, but we have also a little bit of Emilian, almost 9%, and other cultures are also in our country. Most of them are very few in numbers, and for now we have a culture capacity of 1, and currently we only use 0.07 because we are tolerating the Emilian culture. Accepting some cultures is very easy, it just costs you prestige. We currently have 19 prestige, and those are other Italian cultures that we have here, so they are very easy to accept. There are different types of acceptance. We have people that are being discriminated. This is the red one. We can tolerate something, that is what we are doing with the Emilian one, or we can even accept a culture, and then we have our primary culture, which is Lombardian. For those Italians, since we have the prestige, we want to make them happy and just accept them and tolerate those and also accept them. This is very easy and cheap to do because we have the same family of culture, which is Italian, and it just costs us basically nothing, so we can make them a little bit more happy. From the religion point of view, almost everyone is Catholic. There we have some Jews apparently in our country, so nothing to worry about here. Yeah, and that's it. Next thing we want to have a look on is our diplomacy. We currently don't have any friends. We can check in the action tab if someone wants to be our friend by showing offer alliance and see who's around. There is a lot of people in the HR, but most of them I don't really care. I would like to have other people as our friends, which is mainly here. Florence would be great. And we can check why they don't want to be our friend, and they have very few reasons why they don't want to be our friend, and we can try to get them as friends. For that we need to improve a little bit the opinion. I would also like to improve opinion with the Papal State and with Naples as well. So this will be it for now. On top here we can also see that we have a possibility to choose a rival, and since we currently don't have a rival, we have some negative modifiers, so we can just eradicate this by choosing a rival. And the rival I want to choose is those guys here, because I would like to conquer them, and the reason for that is they have a lot of Lombardian culture in their provinces, at least in those two, and we want to have the complete rule of all Lombardian people under our rule. The last thing that we want to address is our research. We can have a look at the research tree. Finally, you can zoom out a lot. And we can see that we have here a couple research that we have already done. So we are not starting at zero, we are a country that already has some knowledge. But there is also some research that we just apparently got new to it, and we can do some research here. And there is also other things that we don't even know of. So research works in this game a little bit different. You have different ages. We are currently in the age of tradition, very close to the age of Renaissance. And there are some institutions that need to spread to us. So over here you can see how much this has spread. All of Europe knows about those things. But this type of research has spread in in this place. And we can see where this is. This is somewhere over here where we don't even know that it exists, somewhere in Asia, so it will take some time that it spreads to us. No one in Europe basically knows about this thing. Anyway, back to the research. What do we choose? We want to focus at the beginning a little bit of things. So as we mentioned, we are paying for food, so this will reduce our purchase for food. That is quite good for us, helps our economy. And maybe since we are bad on stability, we also want to research something in stability. We can queue up the research. You cannot start with it, it will just queue up and go through it. So it has something to do for now, so we don't need to worry about it too much. The last thing that pops up here is that children can have a better education. Apparently this dude, who is 15, he is good at military stuff. He can have some better education, sure, be our military dude. And who is it actually? It's our first cousin. Okay, fine. Now we have done all the settings, so we can actually finally play the game and unpause. You can either click up here or just press the spacebar. At the beginning of the game, everyone is declaring their rivals, and apparently we have our own first rival. The Republic of Manchuria is declaring us. They are over here. Apparently they don't like us. We don't really care about them. And more people declaring rivalry on us. This time the Duchy of Azzo. You know what, Duke of Emon? You think that we are a rival for you, but I don't even think of you. That's how it is. And the first month has passed. Now we can see that some of our trades give us some profit, but other don't. We even lose money here. So let's cancel this trade and find us something better. But that was actually not the reason why I paused after 1 month. The actual reason is we can abuse a little bit the game mechanic. And that means that no one has alliances, at least not this early in the game, and we can just attack our neighbors to get some more land. Do you remember, like I said, I want to get those because they have Lombardian people over here? Let's do this and declare our first war. For that we can declare a war with no casus belli. This will cost us more stability, some antagonism, but that doesn't really matter, and we get some war exhaustion from the beginning. That is something we can recover from, and we should be able to beat them up quite easily. So let's declare our first war. There we have it, our first war. In this overview we can see that no one really has currently troops, because standing armies are something that we have not figured out yet. But we can recruit levies. 11,000 in this case. We will just recruit everyone. Also we have some money in our bank, and we should maybe spend this on our economy. So over here in Milano, things that we can build, or we should build, should be a library. This helps us with research and culture. That's always a good thing, to spam libraries in your places. And we can focus on buildings that give us actually quite a good money. So Tailor's Guild are something that really is beneficial at the beginning. So let's build maybe one, maybe also Spinner's Guild. And we can also check for RGOs if there is something that gives us a lot of money. I think for now I would like to focus more on the lumber mill, so that makes produces more lumber and makes other buildings a little bit cheaper when the price on the market drops, when we have more production of this. And I guess with 100 I'm already fine. For some reason the AI is always getting their levies out first, I don't know why. Our troops need a general. In our case we take our Signore Azzo as a general. Okay, with our pedo leader as our generali, we can check the formation. Yep, that's what I thought. We have some cavalry in the middle. That's something we definitely don't want. We can go on the sides, and we want to balance this out a little bit more. So a couple people more in the middle, maybe you go on the left flank. And this is a little bit more balanced, and the cavalry can, once the enemy flank has collapsed, do its magic and do a lot of steppy step step. Good. They are marching in this region where we have a couple people. This is not good. When do they arrive? On 18 May 13/7, so in 3 days. Can we catch them? We will be there on the 17 May, and they are there on the 18 May. Yes, we can catch them. Perfect. So we can fight them over here. We have the number advantage, should be fine. This unit just can go over here and siege this province already. And we catch them, that was already successful. We can watch the first battle. The enemy is down here, the defender. We are the attacker. They have just a few people in the middle, actually, a few people on the flanks, and they try to currently establish their right flank. They are currently manning this flank, basically. If we continue to fight, we can see that their numbers go down, we have the advantage. And the good thing is, once this flank here is about to collapse, then we can flank them in the middle, and then we can really destroy them over here. That is something we are looking for. Yep, there it is. And they lost quite a few troops. We lost 102. Oh, it continues to grow. We lost about 102 persons, while they lost 10 times this. That is fine. So what we will do is we detach a siege and try to hunt them down. Yeah, a lot of stuff is happening right now. We have basically two things that are happening at the same time. One is an event that is happening, so basically those dudes, I don't try to pronounce it, and those dudes are against each other. That is basically some, they are following the Papal States and other wants to follow the Holy Roman Empire. They have different advantages. We can pick either one side or stay neutral. That is something we will deal in the future with. And we have here something else, a growing power in northern Italy. If you want to read it, just go ahead and pause the video. Basically, to summarize it, everyone is happy because everything is going so well for us. We are growing, we are a beacon in the society, technology and all of those kind of things. And we can choose now between two options that we are presented here. This little book here means this is the historical option that we can choose. So we can choose between prosperity in Milano increases, which is very good. And we are going +5 in centralization, which is exactly what we want. The other options would be that our patricians get more happy and we will move 5% towards decentralization that we don't want. So we definitely choose the first option, which is quite good. Now let's see if we can hunt down the enemy forces and get rid of them. We have here a second fight and they already don't have anybody on this flank, so we immediately can flank them, which is good, which causes a lot of damage in the middle rear. And their upper flank is also about to collapse, so this will cost them a lot of people that are dying here. Over there we can see that our sieges for the two smaller provinces have been successful. We can watch the fight unfold, and there we have it, a stack wipe. We got rid of them. Now we can focus all of our people in this one province. It will take a little bit longer to siege this down, because while those were just some locations, I get interrupted all the time. Don't interrupt me, I will talk about you in a minute. While these were just locations, we have here a city that is also having a fort, so that is difficult to siege down. It will just take some time to decimate those defenders and getting the fort. We could try to assault this, but it's very difficult and costs a lot of troops, and I actually don't want to lose that many troops. I'm fine just sitting there and waiting. What do we have here? Here it's the dispute between those two fractions, and we can now choose whether we want to side with anybody or if we want to stay neutral. For this to decide, let's check the current situation. So basically we have the fraction that is lead here from Naples, that is supporting the Pope. Those are this color of people. And then we have the other part that are led by actually Upper Bavaria up here, that want us to stay in the Holy Roman Empire, because I think this dude is currently, yep, he's the emperor, and therefore he's the leader here, and we can choose where we want to side at. Actually, I think historically Milan would be on the side of the Holy Roman Empire, but I dislike this. I side with the Pope. There's a lot of stuff happening in the first year. We have our next situation here, the Visconti family of Milan. So this is our ruling party, basically this dude here and this entire family tree. So basically, if you want to read this again, just hit pause. What this is telling about is we have to decide how we want to proceed as this dynasty here and how we want to rule Milano. So we can either pick the historical option, which is patient. This would make our patricians happy, give us a lot of stability and public tradition, which would be very, very beneficial for us. But the other option would also help us to give us 20 points into centralization, which would be a huge leap, but it would cost us 20 stability and make them even much more hate us. But we would get restore the authority for 10 years. It's a modifier where we get 25% crown power, speed of integration 10%, and a cabinet seat, one more cabinet seat. That is very, very tempting. I'm not sure if we can have another stability hit. That will be brutal, but this is a very strong buff. And going into centralization faster would be also cool. I think I go with this one. And this gives us another cabinet. We will choose against someone from our dynasty. Let's take Galeazzo here, which is 17. He is our first cousin again. And we need a job for him. What can you do for us? It's either integrating a province or giving us more republic tradition. It's a tough choice. But I think we need to work on these provinces as long as we have the modifier that giving us 10%. And I think you can do this one here. And we are getting spammed by events again too. Let's talk about this one. This is a 100 years war between France and England. And we could participate in this, but to be honest, we wish you all the best. We wish both sides to be happy and have fun. We will stay out of this. But this is another event, so basically what this says, in the past, Verona, our neighbor over here, this one, cannot read it because they are getting here some levies that they are raising. Anyway, wait a second, why they are raising levies? Oh, Mantua joined the war on the enemy side. How did this happen? You don't have... oh, you have an alliance with Mantua now, for some reason. Okay, interesting. We need to deal with this situation. Anyway, over here, our lovely neighbor, Verona, has expanded in the past a lot. It's not only the land that they have here, they have a couple vassals, 3 in total. They have them here as a vassal, they have Parma as a vassal, and they have Lucca as a vassal. And the people of Italy are not happy with this. We can form a coalition against them and get this event where we can break out a war with this Casabelli to cut down their size on Verona. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, they are raising an army. We can see that they have like 5,000 people. There are 2,900. What we will do is we detach a siege and try to met their army on the field. There they are. We catch them in Parma. Parma is good because this is flatlands. So we are considered the attacker, and let's see how the fight evolves. Their flank is getting reinforced, but I still think that we can beat their flanks. At least they are losing a lot more people than we do. We also outnumber them by a lot. There it happens, the flank has collapsed, and now our lovely cavalry, which we have at least 244 of, they can do now their magic and wreck their middle part. Yep, that's it. We got more war score, that's a lot of war score, and they lost about half, roughly half, of their soldiers. We try to hunt them down. There we got them, and stack wiped. Easy. Let's punish them by sieging some of their territory and get them out of this war. Currently we are getting flooded with events. The next one is a United Realm. Basically we can decide how we want to seal the fate of Milano. We can either choose the historical option, which just gives Upper Bavaria an event, which could go well, or could not, depending on how they choose. Or we can use this option, and I heavily favorize this option because it will revoke the Visconti city starter from the patricians. It will get rid of this privilege for minus 5% of control and this plus 5 modifier towards decentralization. That is very, very good. Our region will get 5% more control, which is good, and we jump another 10% towards centralization, which is also good. I definitely pick this option. The rest would be make our patricians happy, move towards decentralization, which we don't want, and having public tradition, which we would be good, but this option is much better, so we choose this option. It took us a while, but we finally sieged both of the forts down, so we have occupied this entire territory to 100% and this entire territory to 100%. For some reason, just recently they joined the war. Apparently they are allied with Pavia, the main guy that we attacked. I'm not sure how they make friends while they are at war. At least I get a huge debuff modifier for making alliances during a war, but apparently the AI can do it. Anyway, we are at 100%. They joined the war just a few days ago. They have an army, I haven't beaten them yet, but it's too little too late. I don't want to fight them. Or maybe, you know what? It's just a city. Let's fight them. The only issue that we currently have is that we are running out of money, and what I was thinking about our peace deals is I would like to give Mantua a separate peace deal, and I would like to make them our vassal. It will cost us some antagonism, so some people will be mad about this, and we can take all of their money, but I think that is something we can do. Should we do it? Let's do it. Yeah, let's beat them up. They just have a location. They don't really have any fort, so it should be quick. There it is. We have sieged their territory. I don't bother fighting them and stack wiping them. I don't want to lose any further men, because those are, again, levies. Everyone that we lose is someone that is not working on our fields and stuff. So we got to be careful of this. I don't think I will do much to you. I don't want to take you, I just want to have your money and all of your money, and also I want to humiliate you for joining this war, you little prick. And now to the last person, the one that we actually attacked. Here I was thinking of taking all your lands for myself. I don't want to vassalize this. The reason for this is that this is directly adjacent to our capital. It's also a city, which is quite nice. And I think we can, once we integrated this, get a lot of control of this area. And again, in at least those two areas here in these locations, there is already a lot of Lombardy people, and we want them under our rule. So this will the peace treaty. There will be, again, more people that dislike us, but I think we can handle this for now. At least that's hope. Maybe this is our first blunder. Anyway, that's our peace treaty. And they have ceased to exist. We have unified the Lombardy people under our precious control now. Can get rid of the army, we don't need it anymore. Now with them gone, we have to address two things. One is that we have here devastation from the war. That is something we should address immediately, because you are losing a lot of prosperity, and it's very easy to recover if you use one cabinet member. So get this done with the prosperity here. Should go rather quickly. The other thing that we need to take care of is we got rid of our only rival. We need a new rival. And the question is, what would we take next? Maybe one of the little ones here. And let's see, they have dice. I would like to have some dice. That's very good. The other one has wall. It would be also great. But I think I prefer the dice. Who are your allies? Not that much. Yep, then let's choose them here as our new rival. Perfect. Now we need to be a little bit careful, because there is a coalition possible, and if we have to fight all of this, we are in big trouble. So let's be a little bit cautious and maybe see if we can get an ally somehow. Not really. And apparently they just waited for us to finish our war, and it goes on with Verona, our nice little neighbor. The coalition is apparently formed, and it's about to get into a war. Our next war. Can we survive 2 wars back to back? Let's figure it out next time. Okay, bye.